Hey everybody, I'm back. Had to put my little baby to sleep, Kai. That's my little man right there, look just like me. My little roadie right there. They bring me so much joy in my life, man. Even when I think I don't got joy. When I don't think I got nobody that love me. I know that my kids love me no matter what, man. But back to this PTS thing in my life story. Now, I am married accordingly, y'all. Of course. I'm a 36-year-old male. I'm married with 3 children. Now, my wife is currently separated from me because I am struggling with things. I haven't been treating her like the woman she deserves to be treated like. And that's my fault because I haven't been shown how to be a man, how to taught how to be a man. If you're from the black community and you come from where I come from back in the day, you know the Cosbys raised me. Bill Cosby, the Huxtables. That was the family that I knew and how to try to mimic a family. But I didn't know nothing else. So that being said, like I am very sad that I am separated from my wife because of my ways, and I have to fix my ways because God knows I do love my wife. But the reason I do struggle with these ways is because of what I've been through in my life. Now back to where I left off at about my mother being murdered. Now before my mother was murdered, I remember clear as day my mother going on the news and telling and begging that she wished she can do something to change her life for her boys, and she prayed. But I think God's way of helping her do something was that even though it hurts and takes her away from us, but what other way my mother was gonna realize to stop doing drugs to get us out the project so we can have a better life. So unfortunately, things happen in ways that we can't understand. And I don't blame God because God has done wonderful things in my life. But I am mad at the person that did do it. They never found the person that killed my mother. They never did. I think it's because she was a black woman murdered in the projects, a drug addict. She had a criminal record, known for stealing, prostitution, and stuff like that. But I wish they would have investigated it more. The more I get older, the more I want to reopen the case. But I feel like I need to leave it in the past and leave some things gone because I don't want to open wounds up in myself, but I need to. That's why I'm in therapy to figure out things that's going on with me and to help me better my life and to be a stronger black man out here for my wife and for my kids. So she did pray that, y'all. This is me in a raw form right now, y'all. I smoke weed because it do helps me and it do calms me. I don't want to be on no pills. Everybody thought I should be on pills and all that stuff to help me. But I don't need none of that stuff. I just need God and a little bit of marijuana right now to keep talking about my problems. So, yeah, she was murdered back in 1996. May 12th, clear as day. I remember it, man. Coming in, I had just left a basketball game. Me and the little dude that I was telling you about, certain for Dirty Philly, we'd go out there and panhandle change and stuff, ask people to watch their cars while they was in the game. So it was a white guy that actually took us in the game and bought us tickets. It's crazy. Bought us tickets and everything. We up in the game and stuff, watching the Bulls. It was the most exciting day of my life. Come out. I see my mom outside. We standing outside and stuff. Normally, my mother would come and get us before the street lights come on. Now, anybody know the street lights come on, it's time to go in the house. So I remember seeing the man she went upstairs with and all that. Remember seeing all that. So as time went by, and my older brother said he went upstairs and stuff. She was still alive at that time. And she was cool. So now mind you, the street lights come on. I see my cousin Tavell. He like, what y'all still doing outside? Come on, I'm finna walk y'all in the house. So he walks, we get up there, open the door. My mother's laying on the ground bleeding to death in the bathroom with holes in her face. So, like I said, we run, going crazy and stuff, do all that. The police come, take us, do all that. Now, I never knew my grandfather, never knew none of his family and all that. I heard stories about him, but never knew him. So when my mother was murdered, of course, he stepped up to the plate. But I thought he stepped up to the plate because he loved us and he wanted to get to know us. Not knowing it was other agendas behind why he stepped up to the plate. And that itself is hurtful in itself because it's like you didn't take us to help us and give us a better life. You took us for money because, mind you, my mother, her mother, father was rich, one of the richest men back in Alabama, from what I'm understanding. And he had land. He left my mother land. It was passed on generations. So me and my brothers supposed to got 300 acres, some apiece. We supposed to got 300 acres. So he not knowing, since my mother didn't leave a will, we wasn't getting the land. So he took us. But also, you was getting money from the state. They was living like fat cats, him and his wife, man. No, his wife was an alcoholic, you know what I'm saying? She really didn't like my mother, my grandmother, and we always heard the stories how she treated them, you know. And it's sad about all the things that my mother went through because of my grandfather and her mother, because my grandfather didn't have to leave mother like that with 6 children, but he did, you know, things happen. So can't regret, you know, hate the man for it. They still love their father and everything, but I wished he would have been in their lives more as he was in his other children that he had by his other wife that he currently was with before he passed. So now I'm back to, you know, the police said they did investigations and everything about my mother murder, but I don't believe so because, like I told y'all, she was what she was. You know what I'm saying? Everything led up to her doing. I believe it was a dude tried to do some drugs, sex. I don't know what led to my mother murder, but I know it devastated me and my brothers. It really messed us up, especially me. I took it. I took it hard. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know nobody else that was gonna love us like that. Didn't know what was gonna happen with us. So we went with my grandfather. You know, got to meet my auntie Lim and stuff for the first time in life. Got to be around them. See difference. You know, went to South Carolina with my grandfather and his wife. I was just bad, man. I'm out there getting in fights. I remember stealing the golf cart. Me and my little brother, we were just out there, man. I remember jumping in my auntie car, crashing her car and jumping out like, I don't know what happened to your car. Somebody stole your car. It was me all the time that crashed into the car. Time I'm teaching myself how to drive. I'm just bad out here, man. So time go on, still bad. My grandfather feel like they can't handle it, so we moved back up here to Chicago. Moved to the suburbs though. The suburbs of DuPage County. You know, going to school like in a nice environment. I'm around the right people. Now I ain't never been around white people growing up. Now I'm around the white people. Oh, it's a whole different ball game now. So now I'm liking on the white girls and stuff. So we going to these nice schools and all that. But because of what I was going through, I never had the proper help. Never saw a psychiatrist like that. When they did, they really didn't help me. I wasn't ready to talk. I didn't know what I was going through. I just know I lost my mother. I wanted my mother. I wanted things to go back how it was. Seeing a psychiatrist. I remember she asked me and my brothers to draw a boat and who we have in the boat and who we have at the boat. I remember drawing them and my father. We ain't helping none of y'all, just me and my brothers and my mama in the boat. We all gonna be survive this right here. So, you know, we talked about that and stuff. Did a little bit of that, but as time went on, I always stayed in fights. I stayed getting in trouble, y'all. I stayed getting in trouble. Never stayed on the upside, never stayed leading right. So, my first house arrest, I remember my first house arrest. I was 14 years old when I first got on house arrest. That was crazy because I was always in trouble. I told you I was always in trouble. I forget even why I even got on house arrest for. I know I was always fighting, getting in trouble out here, fighting the teachers, fighting the police, staying curfew and stuff. That was always that something that I remember at 16, 17, my grandfather caught me with a gun, sent me to juvenile, and left me. That hurted me, crushed me. Like, oh, you gonna leave me in this place, man? Like, Lord, nobody want me. I was bad. I kept getting my aunties didn't want me to live with them. Nobody wanted me to live with them. And because of my badness, because of what I was going through. I remember going out south with my auntie Lim, being out that way in the Heights, Chicago Heights, Harvey. But 117th, 119th, that's where I used to be at. I learned a lot, but the stuff I learned was how to hurt people. When I first got a gun in my hand, I felt powerful. I didn't know what else to do. I felt like I can hurt people that I was being hurt because of my pain I was going through. So I learned that life, learned how to do all that gang bang. I remember being homeless, eating out of garbage cans and stuff. Had nobody, man. Like I had nobody in my corner that I can actually turn to and really count on in my life. You know, I know I was I was gonna write a book about my life, but I don't know how to write like that. I wish I was taught how to write. I barely know how to do math like that, and I'm struggling. I'm in college right now, striving to be the best. I'm getting my bachelor's right now in project management. Hopefully, by the grace of God, I can get my master's in hospital administration. Like I'm really striving out here. So me writing a book, been very hard to write a book about my life. So this was why I decided to do a YouTube channel and talk about my life and what I've been through. You know, And I believe I know I'm gonna keep rambling all over the place because I want y'all to understand and really understand what I'm going through and what I've been through and where I come to. So remember doing all that, going out there out south, living that life, selling drugs, doing all of that, shooting, gang banging. You know, I always wanted to be this real well respected gang member in life, do all that because that's all I knew. But I also knew this life. But I wasn't really shown because I didn't have my grandfather. From the stories I hear, my grandfather was he did a lot of stuff even to his own daughters, even tried on a couple of his granddaughters, and that. But y'all put us with this man, but then tell us what was going on in this man's life or what y'all even been through. So the help we were supposed to get, it was just still messed up chaos. So we went to another messed up chaos environment because of what they was going through and their own past they been through. So how can you help three boys that just lost their mother? Mother just was murdered. They don't know who did it. They don't know who to turn to. A father nowhere around. You can't help us. There was no way in helping us. So this is why I decided to do that. But back to all that, I was doing, constantly getting in trouble doing that. I remember a time I came out here and I got in a fight, man. I was beating this Latino boy up, man. By the grace of God, I didn't get in trouble for what I did, man. And I just wanted to be the toughest, baddest person. I wanted people to fear me more than just love on me because I didn't know how to get people to just love on me. Everybody said I had a nice smile. I had a good personality. They loved being around me. But I didn't see it in myself because I was fighting my own demons that I've been going through. And that hurts me so much that I do push the people away that I love so much. And I want to be happy. I want to be happy and laugh with the people that I love. And I know I'm hurting them and I'm tired of hurting the people that I love. So I continue to pray. I continue to strive to be a better person. But going through all of that, I know my story's supposed to be long because of what I've been through. And I don't know how to constantly make it long. And I ain't trying to get y'all to understand what long is. I'm getting y'all to understand what my life is and what I've been through. So going through all the fighting and stuff, going through the project and stuff, I got locked up. I caught a criminal case. No, I've been in trouble, but going to catching my first criminal case time about I'm facing years in the penitentiary. At 18 years old, I didn't understand that. I didn't even know the concept of that at that time. But I did know I was going to jail for what I was doing out there. So, I was willing to go to jail. I'm like, oh, I can take this. I can do that. I remember when the judge told me 60 years. I looked, 60 years? 18, man, I ain't doing 60 years. I don't see 60 years in my life. When I'm going to come home? So I remember my brother bonded me out and everybody scared and stuff. My brother telling me he woke up out his sleep with a dream that I was dead because I was doing a lot of stuff out there that could have got me killed, that posed to got me killed. But by the grace of God, he got a bigger plan for me. And that's why I'm here talking about my life now to you guys and getting y'all to see that it is a bigger picture out there. That's what God got planned for us. And we all can get through it with just a little bit of love out here. And love is that we all what we need out here in this world. So as I keep going, I caught that case and stuff. I'm in Cook County. I ain't never been in Cook County, 26 in California, a day in my life. So imagine you first going up in the county. You don't know what to do or what to think. You in here, now you in here with the big boys. You playing big ball now. The county ain't no joke. It's either kill or be killed up here. You going to fight or you going to get on deck, whatever it's going to be. You know, I was a black disciple. I was a BD. My cousin blessed me in the game. My cousin was a hitter up in the nation. And I love my cousin to this day. They call him crazy. But I wish he was home. He caught a case where he was doing fair time right now. And I wish him the best. I wish my cousin come home soon. I love him and I miss him. But also I know my cousin needed this reality check in his life. To wake up like so many of us young black men do. And I pray to God that so many of us wake up. But back to the story. So I'm up in 26 in California, fighting and stuff. I don't count, ready to murk a mob, wherever it's going to be. You know how it's going to take. My brother bond me, I get back out. Back in the world, living life. I run back into the love of my life, Sakina. I happen to get back in touch with her. My brother let her know I'm at his house. Oh, my God. Now, I ain't know what to think getting back with this girl. Having she even going to look at me. I ain't seen her in so many years, but I used to date her off and on. I always loved this girl, man. I always knew I was going to end up marrying her one day in my life, and I did. But I'm hurting her though, and I need to fix that in my life. But run back into her and stuff. I was glad she called me. I didn't know who it was at first. Glad she called me. I played like I won, like who is this and everything. But happy she called the brother. And we got to going now. She didn't know at the time that I was facing this. You know, and I remember I got into my rappy. And they locked me back up and revoked my bond. She was the first person I called and let her know that my bond was revoked and please get in touch with my family. That hurt her and I can tell and hear it in her voice when I called her from the county. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't accept the calls at the time because she ain't had that set up. But by the grace of God, she did. And eventually, when me and her really made it serious, while I was even in jail, man, this girl held a brother down. Most young men can't say that. Most people can't say they had somebody to do that, but she did it at a young age. I wouldn't expect her to. But she did because she saw something else in me that I didn't see at the time. And, going to courts and stuff, she would come there and do all of that, be by my side, writing me, letting me call her and stuff, visiting me, you know. And I love that in her, man. But back to the life, how it goes, y'all. But the projects wasn't no joke growing up in the projects. You had to fight. You had to be something else or you was going to get trampled on. I remember having wars through the projects with another area because you won from my projects, but you was another projects going to school. We warring with each other, man, doing all the dumb stuff that you can actually think of through here. But teenage years and childhood years taught me a lot about life. It taught me I didn't know what love was. I really truly didn't know how to have somebody in my corner. I didn't know how to be in somebody's corner like that. And I'm still learning how. And I hope God continue to bless me how to help me bring my family back close one day. And I know he will because he's a higher power than what I ever could be. I can't do it on my own. That's why I jumped in therapy to get my help. And I can actually be proud of that and actually know that she is helping me and know that I am getting helped by a spiritual brother out there that believes in me and believes in my marriage and believes in my family. And that's a blessing out there in itself. But as a lot of people don't know, Katino did a lot of stuff that people weren't proud of. Katino don't got a lot of people in his life now because he did a lot of stuff to people and pushed people away out of his life that I'm not proud of. But I can say I am doing everything to bring those things back and mend wounds in my life. And hopefully that they will be mended. But I did, stuff. I started smoking weed to try to help me cope with things. I didn't try pills. I done tried coke, selling coke, tried that stuff. I'm not proud of none of this stuff I did, but I knew this wasn't me. It wasn't who I was trying to be in my life. And the more I realized that the older I get, I knew that wasn't the Katino Harris I was trying to be. I had an example, a young man that I had to raise. How can I raise my son, my junior, up to be a man when I'm struggling with things and I'm doing stuff like this, trying to sell drugs because I couldn't get a job because I had a felony on me when I came home from the penitentiary. I told y'all I was going to ramble and be all over the place, y'all. But back to where I was in the penitentiary and all this stuff. But I'm going to tell y'all more when I really get things more down for y'all and continue with my story, my life story. And I hope y'all continue to tune in and listen to my life story because it's going to be a long episode of this, man. Signing out, Katino Harris.